Добар ден. Добредојдовте во новото издание на Дата подкаст, Дата муабети. Јас сум Цветковски Гораст. А со мене денеска ќе имаме еден многу интересен гостин кој што не е одовде, може би се гледа. Тема на денешниот подкаст е борбата со ракот преку податоци, односно Fighting Cancer with Data. From this moment on, because of our guest here, as a good host, I will start to talk on my broken English, Taliban English, and to do the conversation like that. Data in today's world has helped in various ways. One of them being generating conclusions that can help humanity to fighting and win battles against one of the deadliest diseases, the cancer. Using a data-driven approach, medicine is close to fighting different types of cancer that can help millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people. So, which battles have we won by now, and which we can win in the future? Here with me we have Rodni Rosalија, healthcare researcher and chief scientist at Jean Mitrev Clinic. Rodni, how are you?
Yeah, great.
This Rosalија looks like you're Italian, are you?
No, I'm actually Caribbean.
Caribbean. Are you a pirate?
I used to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Like pirating games or like pirating ships?
No, like the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Jack Sparrow?
Yeah.
Maybe you know Guybrush Threepwood, the mighty
No,
pirate.
I don't. I only know Jack Sparrow.
Oh yeah, you should search for Guybrush Threepwood, the mighty pirate. He was one of the bravest pirates on the Monkey Island. I think he lifted the curse there.
Okay.
Yeah, you will find it there.
Right.
So, I think it's time for me and the audience to know each other, to get closer. So, tell us something about your professional journey and how did you came to work here in my country, beloved Macedonia.
Gorazd, first of all, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for having me. Audience, thank you for logging in and spending some of your precious time to hear me and Gorazd talk some BS live. We'll try to make this session as informative as possible.
Yes.
And as humorous as possible. So again, coming to Gorazd's question, I'm Caribbean, from the Dutch Caribbean, the island of Curaçao. You might be familiar with it. If you go to bars and clubs, you might have seen a bottle with a blue liquor. And in Macedonski, they call it blue curacao.
Ah, blue curacao, yeah.
Actually, I will take this opportunity to correct this misspelling. It's blue curacao.
Okay.
The C as an insignia.
Curacao.
Curacao.
Yeah, it sounds Japanese, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly, Japanese / Portuguese.
That is a blood for a blue curacao parrot, right?
A blood?
Blood from blue curacao parrot.
I didn't hear that version, but might be. That's correct.
Yeah.
And so, growing up in the Caribbean, I always wanted to come to Europe. It's actually fairly easy growing up in the Dutch Caribbean to go to Europe because we're part of the Dutch kingdom. I'm Dutch since birth. My nationality is Dutch. So after I finished high school, I moved to the Netherlands. I did all my academic studies in the Netherlands. And during one summer, I went on holiday in Spain with my football friends. And during a night out, I bumped into a young lady called Christina.
Is she from Macedonia?
She happened to be from Macedonia.
I knew it.
And we got drunk together. And then when I got sober again, I looked around and I was in Aerodrome Skopje, and c'est la vie.
Yeah, you was in the center of of the Skopje,
Exactly.
Naselba aerodrome.
Exactly.
And so much aerodromes walking around the streets now. You can even tell who is not aerodrome or who is aerodrome. Yeah, so how do you pronounce data science on Caribbean language?
Data science.
Yeah, I thought of it. Yeah, I knew it. So, why did you choose to study cancer and other water animals?
The blue parrot.
Yeah, the blue parrot and the lobsters and cancers.
So yeah, I've always been a fan of immunology, and cancer is considered an immunological disease, and it's basically how a tumor interacts with the immune system and the balance, and when this balance is lost, the tumor grows out, and when the immune system wins, the tumor is destroyed. And I've been attracted by this continuous battle. And early on during my master studies, I actually already during my bachelor studies, I started going towards heavily into immunology, in vaccine development. And then I transitioned into, let's say, hardcore oncology. I did a master in oncology, where I also focused on the role of immune suppression in cancer. From that moment on, I was completely hooked by the dynamics of cancer and immunology, and I did also my PhD in cancer immunotherapy, vaccine development. After that, I did a stint in Zurich, focusing on cytokine immunology and how cytokines control anti-tumor responses. And yeah, that in total is about, let me think, about 13 or 14 years of working as a cancer researcher. Yeah.
So much passion about cancer.
Yeah.
I have friends talking about football with this kind of passion.
Yeah, I also talk about football with the same, but football
same
actually.
Same passion as cancer?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I know football is cancer actually. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, can you tell us about what is actually cancer? What is the how do you define this disease?
In layman terms, cancer is basically the uncontrolled replication division of otherwise healthy cells. Which this uncontrolled division is a result of several mutations in genes controlling cancer cell cellular division, or the brakes and the gas pedals, and this balance is lost in a cancer cell, and they start replicating and dividing uncontrollably.
Becoming zombies.
More or less.
I knew it. I knew it. I'm so prepared for the zombie day, you have no idea. I've seen all the movies, played all the games. I already bought the backpack.
To run, but why the backpack?
The backpack with the gas mask, with knife, with the landmines, and also for any case, I threw in a wooden stick.
Okay.
If some kind of vampires come, and also a gun with 3 silver bullets.
Okay.
I didn't have much money for more bullets, silver, for the werewolves, so basically. I'm prepared.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so take this, zombie bastards. Anyway, we were talking about a problem where there is no one-size-fits-all solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone is different. So,
yeah.
How challenging is this fight? Because why is it so difficult to get a cure for a disease?
So. Cancer is a heterogeneous disease. That basically heterogeneous is a fancy medical term for highly diverse, completely different. So you and I, let's like to say in Dutch, afkloppen. We could have theoretically the same cancer type, but if you analyze in detail, you will notice that the mutations leading to that cancer formation is completely different in you and I. So there is no, historically people thought that there is one cure that could treat cancers across the whole specific cohort. but nowadays, propelled by data analysis, it's known that it's a very individual, unique process requiring a unique approach, unique treatment approach.
Yeah, so you mentioned data and everything. So how does the data how can the data help medicine-wise fighting this?
Yeah, I mean,
this fight?
I think the answer is pretty clear. Everything is data nowadays. Everywhere you look around, everything is data, and so of course also cancer research, medical research. It's a data-driven process. And as I was explaining to the colleagues, the guys here at Data Masters, by leveraging the vast amount of data that is now available through, for example, the Cancer Genome Atlas. There's a huge public available repository. You could actually analyze and potentially detect new linkages, new clusters, new associations between data variables that are associated with severity of disease.
So basically all the data is stored there.
It's one of the repositories.
Yes.
There are many.
Yes, and you can just...
In theory, so these are so-called secondary databases that are publicly accessible for anybody to play around with. But for example, what creates ultimately these secondary databases are the pioneering work by all the researchers that conduct their own research to generate more and more data, large-scale patient analysis that generates data connected with the outcome, and they link the two. And this data can also be harnessed to devise therapies. So when you recognize patterns, you are able to make therapies that pinpoint this particular set of patients.
So, is it true? If you smoke weed, you can cure cancer?
So, it's not fully garbage. This theory about weed, THC, and cancer. If I'm not wrong, in an ex vivo model, in vitro model, they've shown that certain elements of cannabis can slow the outgrowth of tumor cells. Mm-hmm. I'm not fully familiar with the data, but we can look it up together later on.
What about glaucoma?
What about glaucoma? Whether the weed, I'm not familiar with the
I've
link.
heard talks that when you smoke weed, you can see clearly everything. Is that true?
If you're telling me, it must be true.
No, I just heard.
You just heard?
Actually,
huh?
I heard from a guy that was looking at the website on Serbian language. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You speak Serbian?
Yes, a little bit. Yeah. So, statistically, how deadly is cancer worldwide?
If I'm not wrong, I checked earlier when I was coming over, but I'm becoming old, so I might have mixed up the numbers. But if I'm not wrong, it's the third leading cause of death worldwide.
So is that number increasing or lowering?
It depends the region, the country, the patient demographic that you are evaluating. I mean, generally we're making progress. I mean, it's going the right direction, but it's a slow process.
Yeah, very slow. I mean, do something, please. That's why we keep you here in Macedonia. If it wasn't for your research, you would have a long time gone. So, what is the most important data-driven scientific discoveries done until now related to cancer?
Yeah, I mean, I was going through, of course, the questions, and I mean,
which questions?
The questions that somebody shared with me that you might ask me.
Oh.
Yeah, but so. Yeah, there are many discoveries that are noteworthy enough, and I mean, all of them are data-driven. I would like to say it's difficult to choose actually. The one that I find most intriguing personally is the use of so-called checkpoint blockade inhibitors. These are particular compounds that actually take away the brake from immune cells when they're attacking the cancer. And historically, people were providing therapies based on the cancer type, so tissue-specific designation. So you have lung cancer, you have brain cancer, you have breast cancer, and therapies were devised according to the tissue-specific type. But then that there was a study that showed that there is a so-called tumor-agnostic approach, where the tissue specificity is of secondary importance, and people actually analyze the mutational landscape, the mutational burden, and provide therapies based on your unique genetic mutational profile. And that is highly data-driven, because that is close to individualizing the therapy, the dosages, the treatment schedule. And in my opinion, that represents one of the most intriguing therapies, because actually you harness the power of data plus the immune system, where you just boost the immune system. You point the immune system in the right direction and let it do its job. And that's, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's always like that with you doctors. You just leave the other ones
to do the work.
Do the job for you. Have you ever found a cure for humor cancer?
Humor cancer?
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that have cancer
of the humor.
On their humor. Yeah, it's like dead. No humor at all.
No.
Nothing. Zilch. No, zero. Emptiness.
I will think about it. I will see if I can.
You should find that.
Yeah.
That's the money. That's where the money comes. So, on the world level, are there any regions where the population is more prone to getting sick from specific types of cancer?
Yeah, I mean, the occurrence of cancer is a multifactorial event, and of course you have the individuality, the genetic profile that predisposes you or decreases your risk of ever developing cancer, and of course there are also environmental factors. To give us an example, on my island, there is always
chemtrails.
Yeah, but it's, no, it's related to the refinery. And on the island there is a constant northeast wind. In Dutch it's called Noordoostpassat, and so the wind basically blows always in the same direction. And so it takes the refinery on the island is not the most modern anymore. So it blows all the toxic exhaust in one direction, and it's been shown that the areas in that path there is a higher incidence of multiple cancer types. So
it's the same in Jamaica. They're always smiling because of the wind. Yeah, I know. So what are the steps for creating personalized treatments? I think that's the point of all this.
Yeah, nowadays what it comes down to extracting cells so basically collecting either the immune cell or the cancer cell itself.
From the patient?
Yeah, from the patient. Yeah, and there are different methods, different approaches how you can collect these cells. Nowadays people are exploring the most non-invasive forms to collect samples, to have an idea of your let's say the genetic structure, the genetic profile of your immune cell or of the cancer cell. And by profiling, by analyzing these, they determine what is they match it with known data of repositories that tells you if you have this and this mutation, or you have this protein being expressed, you are more likely to react to treatment A versus treatment B. And the more people get treated, the more precise the data becomes, the better people can, clinicians, oncologists can treat patients.
Yeah. So how can data help in early detection of tumors and cancer?
Yeah, how can data, so by knowing what are risk factors, by knowing what are triggers for cancer, by knowing what are early mutations that may lead to cancer, you can screen for these mutations, and you have a number that indicates what is your relative risk of developing cancer. So in theory, you could do time series screening over time. So let's say, to give an example, you and I were in the age, you mentioned you were around 40?
Yes,
Yeah, so
early 20.
Yeah, yeah. So guys like us, we can start.
Don't say colonoscopy, please.
No, I also am afraid of colonoscopy, but yeah.
No, I like it. That's why I'm afraid of it. So it wasn't meant for. Yeah.
Your wife does the colonoscopy.
Yeah, usually yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but she's not a doctor, so you know.
But that's why you like it. She does it rough.
Yeah, raw.
Raw, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, if you know your risk profile, you're often recommended to do screening and evaluations every 1 year, 3 years, 5 years.
Yeah, that's how you get paid.
No, I don't get any money for that.
No, you get the money.
No.
So, as you're getting older, you're supposed to get more and more checks, right? Regular checks, like 6 months, a year, maybe.
It depends on your risk profile.
What kind of checks are those? Blood only or scanning?
It can be both. It can be a combination. It can depends on your family history. It can be very specific. If you have a family history with ovarian cancer, breast cancer, doctors tend to recommend women to do early breast cancer screening. A well-known preventive screening is pap tests. For women.
I've never done it.
No, me neither. I might.
Maybe you should. Yeah.
And for men, for example, for prostate cancer, there are blood biomarkers. For colorectal cancer, indeed, colonoscopy. There are different methods, and if you want to go all out, you can do a full PET scan analysis, and then that can also help. But I mean, you tend to follow clinical guidance by your clinician and clinical recommendations.
Okay. So this is very, very complex thing, and there is a lot of data floating around about this. So what's your take on sharing the data between different organizations so they can, help each other in fighting this battle?
Yeah, I mean, data sharing is more and more propagated across research institutions. Of course, there's a balance between maintaining your competitive advantage, and so there's always a trade-off. People generally share, but they don't share 1, 2, 3, but they share when they feel like the gap with their competitors is big enough. But at the end of the day, these repositories serve the purpose of data sharing, because these data don't tend to come from only one research or research group. So
I think we have a question from the audience. So, can immunotherapy help in fight against cancer?
Definitely, 100%. Immunotherapy is the way to go.
What is actually immunotherapy?
It's what I mentioned earlier. It's about boosting your immune system to clear.
With different types of what? Vitamins?
No.
Radiation type thing? Lasers?
Typically, immunotherapy in the context of cancer is a little bit more
aggressive
than vitamins. But yeah, vitamins, from the holistic point of view, vitamins can indeed support a healthy immune system. Mm-hmm. But for example, what I was working on is vaccines. So you generate tumor antigen specific vaccines, and you vaccinate, and this stimulates the immune system, and it helps clear the tumor.
So humanity is old, almost, precisely 2021 year.
Okay.
Yeah, before that, then we were all fish. So how come all the genes don't hold the prediction for the disease? The disease became, the human body became familiar with these disease, and how come it doesn't have any information to fight it back?
No. You're slightly mistaken. Actually, you have.
I mean,
this. Sorry,
yeah,
continue.
yes, no.
Every day, your body is fighting against cells that are
Alien cells.
threatening to go rogue. I mean, but your body is actually very efficient in clearing these.
So, okay, on that basis, what should we do if we have a family member that had cancer in sometimes?
It's not not an easy question to answer, because it depends on the cancer type, and also it depends at which time point the family cancer was discovered. I mean, if you have, I hope very few people in the audience have experienced it, but if you have a sister or an auntie or your cousin that let's say had breast cancer at a very early age, 25, 30, that is a very strong indication that there might be
transfer to the next generation. Burek, kebab, kobasica, hamburger, football.
Inherited gene.
Inherited.
Yeah.
Gene.
So these are, let's say, well-known genes that cause cancer, and they are inherited. And so that should prompt you to, especially if you're a young woman, to do annual screening.
To touch yourself regularly.
You can touch your wife.
No, I'm not touching.
No.
I'm not touching the cancer, man.
No.
Disgusting. Well, maybe sometimes. So personally, what can we do to prevent cancer, or become diseased or sick?
I mean, the age-old dogma of living healthy. I mean, I enjoy my glass of wine. Macedonski vino is super.
Yeah, how many glasses? Like 20, 40? Yeah.
Sometimes I lose count.
Yes,
but I mean,
for sure.
if I wanted to decrease my risk of getting cancer, I would stay away completely from alcohol.
But if you don't drink, you don't smoke,
so
you don't gamble, why do you need to live?
That's the balance. So I do sports. I aim to eat as healthy as possible. I don't smoke. And what can you do?
Yeah, so basically whatever you read on the internet, that's correct, that's true about healthy life.
If the internet says exactly what I just said, yeah.
Yeah, I thought of it, yeah. So which countries have the most advanced data-driven approach to the cancer research?
I mean, these are the most, the traditional powerhouses, the countries that are associated with the highest level of education.
Macedonia, Kosovo, Albania,
for example.
Serbia, Montenegro,
for example.
and small part of the Caribbean.
Exactly.
The one with the factory.
Exactly. I mean, the States, Germany, the Netherlands, several countries. I mean, it's not, nowadays people collaborate so much with each other that it's hard to even distinguish that one group, one country is doing all the work. I mean, comes back to the question that you mentioned about sharing and about collaboration. Nowadays, cancer research is a global collaborative approach, and the keep to yourself mindset is becoming less and less. So to answer your question, the countries that traditionally have the most money also tend to have the most the best
data-driven
resources to. Yeah.
So what's your prediction in relation of using the data-driven approach to fighting cancer? I mean, what discoveries are going to happen in the near future?
What I believe will happen is that these mRNA vaccines that are now so famous because of COVID, the same platforms will be used for individualized
one of the researchers that did the AstraZeneca vaccine said that her predictions were that in 5 years humans can get a shot, vaccine shot against cancer.
But that already exists now. The HPV for the preventive HPV vaccines, they are shown to be very successful in preventing cancer. But the holy grail will be to have a very strong therapeutic vaccine,
That means that to get the vaccine after somebody is...
so the vaccine, so there are so-called prophylactic vaccines. These are preventive vaccines. And
before.
Yeah, and there are therapeutic vaccines. And the latter is a little bit more difficult to make.
Nope.
No questions from the audience?
No.
Your wife?
Some guys,
your wife
guys
asking for my number.
They're pinging me for sports and stuff. Healthy life.
Yeah.
But in front of my house, get a couple of 100 beers, get dozens of kebabs, and talk about life and enjoy life and stuff.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, it's important. So, there is a question from the audience.
Right.
Oh my god. So, what are the main risk factors for getting cancer? Is it alcohol? Is it fast food? Is it too much TV?
I'm not sure about the link of watching TV and cancer.
It's linked with my hair. I lost my hair because of the watching TV.
Maybe that's why I lost mine.
Yeah. There are not a single doctor in the world, or maybe also not from this world, that can convince my grandma that I haven't lost my hair because of too much playing games in front of the monitor and watching TV.
Your grandmother is convinced?
Yeah. That's the only way why I don't have hair now. So you cannot beat that. But tell me about the cancer.
Other than TV and possible link with cancer, a high-fat diet, smoking, drinking alcohol.
You're killing me.
Yeah, I know. I'm killing half of the Macedonian community. Yeah.
I should start smoking. Oh my God. So another question from the audience. There it is again. So how is cancer diagnosed?
Yeah, the result, there's a very diagnostic approaches nowadays for cancer can be very fancy. From the symbols, you can detect a mole on your, if you're Caucasian and you detect that a mole is changing structure, that can be a sign that you have...
like pentagram or stuff like that.
I'm not familiar with the pentagram, but it can change if you...
Like a cube? Like a pyramid? Like what kind of structure?
It depends what you're smoking. You can see figures indeed, but if it changes radically over time, it can point to, for example, melanoma. So Caucasian people that tend to be a little bit extra sensitive to the sun, so they can, following let's say a summer holiday, they should pay attention to their moles and see if there's any changes. Otherwise, you can do blood tests for possible biomarkers. You can do self-screening, for example, for breast cancers. You can do mammographies. The diagnostic.
So basically, if you feel changes to your body or your health, it's best to go and see a doctor.
No.
Or just say the Macedonian word, "Ki ti pomene," it's nothing, it will go away.
I mean, it's always wise to visit a doctor if you don't feel 100%, but there is no need to panic that anytime that something is feeling funny to connect that immediately with cancer. I mean,
because you know that when you search anything on internet, it's probably cancer.
That is true, but that's why you need to know how to search.
Well, my head hurts. It's probably cancer, but maybe that you are exhausted.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have twitching in my arm. It's cancer. You'll probably get cut off, but you should see somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, do not search in the internet.
I do, but I know where to search.
Okay. Yeah. This is those data-driven, closed
exactly.
repositories that you know everything.
Exactly.
So between you and me, the vaccines does cause cancer, right? With the chips inside.
Which vaccine?
with the 5G chips inside.
Ah, yeah, those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do cause vaccines.
if you're telling me, yeah.
I mean, between you and me.
Yeah, between you and me, I will research it.
Yes. Also the chemtrails, they do, like.
Which one, sorry?
The chemtrails with the planes.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah, they do cause cancer, right?
I can research it as well.
Yes. I know. Wait, I think we actually have a question. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. So, are you familiar with Fold.it? Scientific gamified online puzzle game about protein folding. New active protein puzzle is for COVID-19 proteins. What is your opinion about some possibilities to be implemented? Similar approach for crowdsource that will help in cancer cells modeling and data structuring.
So the short answer is I'm not familiar with.
Thank you, Vale, for the question.
I'm not familiar with this website. I will have a look, but
it's Italian, so maybe there is a malware there. So, but check it. It's fold.it.
Okay, but the question was on protein folding, right?
Yeah, it's about protein folding.
Yeah, so there are several, if I'm not wrong, there are several models, research ongoing on the effect of different protein structures and the efficacy of carcinogenesis and how aggressive cancers behave depending on how their extracellular definitely behave. So
as you said, the COVID vaccines are very on the same principle that is going to be the cancer vaccines.
The platforms.
Yeah.
They can be easily
modified.
Yeah, because the platform is equal. It's just changing the type of mRNA to code for a set of antigen. But
that's for the original vaccines. But if you download the vaccine for torrent, like Zamunda or like Pirate Bay, you cannot guarantee that the cracked vaccine is going to work.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
you will need to do
you might
some
become
more
a zombie.
Yeah,
and then I will have to fight it.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I have no more questions except for do you talk Macedonian? How much and what is the dirtiest word that you can say it?
The dirtiest word I cannot speak out now publicly because probably my daughter is also watching. But zbori malko, razbiram malko.
Oh, nice. I would like to use this opportunity to thank the families from Caribbeans and the audience from Caribbeans watching us right now.
You want me to teach you how to say thank you in Caribbean?
Yes, please.
Say danki naturhende.
Danki naturhende. Cool. Donkey.
Danki.
Yes.
Not donkey.
Donkey. Yes. Danki naturhende. And I will close this show. Thank you very much for
having me.
Guest here.
Thank you.
I had a lovely class about the cancer. I have learned so much, and I will close this episode with a famous quote from a Portuguese singer.
Okay.
Yes, he's called Silvio Band.
Okay.
And the song is called Basket. So. Oh basket, even if it is made from gold, you should wear it. Coloring, she asked for it. Добра ноќ, довидување и се гледаме во следното издание на Дата, муабет.